Good morning. My name is Chanthirakumar Kaladaran. This is the explanation video for the coursework 1 of Advanced Interactive Media Development. As a one-liner, the coursework is a murder mystery story. As an overview, it's a murder happens in a subway station, and a detective named Reed approaches the station to investigate about the murder, and he talks with the police officer who's in charge of there, and he mingles. There's a cafe on, on the top floor of the subway station. He disguises as a cafe waiter with the permission of the cafe owner Alex, and he interacts and talks with the cafe customers and the people in the cafe and subway station to get the information about the killer, and he identifies the culprit. This is the story overview. I got this inspiration from a movie called Murder on Orient Express. For the characters, I have Alex, the cafe owner, Detective Reed, the disguised waiter, police officer, and 3 NPCs for Jordan, Sam, and Mia. I got the Reed character and the police officer from Mmixamo, from Sketchfap, and I animated using Mmixamo and blend the animation in MotionBuilder. I got the subway station from Fab. It's a free asset, and the subway train from Sketchfap, and the container cafe from coursework specifications deliverables. As in the tutorials, I got the character from Sketchfap, and I characterized it. Then I made it the stand pose. Then as in the tutorial, I I used the character didn't come from a didn't come with a root reference node. So I used character control reference given which is given by motion builder when we characterize the character. I used that reference as a reference, and I added floor plane from elements, and then I added the flow for the I used the flow plane for the flow contact. Then I characterized it. Then I changed the character into then I changed the input type into controlling, and I changed the modifier with modifier for always syncing with flow contact, and the feet contact positions with preferred preferred values for the flow contact. Then I parent every bonds from the character to the character control reference, and I added stories. Then I imported the animations from Mixamo, and I added the stories in the storyboard. First, I imported in the T pose as it mentioned in the tutorial with the FPX type to FPX Unity. I changed it to the 30 FPS and added the flow contact. As you can see, it's working. Then I use the ghost to the imported. Then I import other animations as well, uh, and use I change the root position to 0 0 in XYZ axis. I imported for the character read. I imported 9 animations two talking animations and two arguing animation and one ideal animation and one and a T pose and start talking animation and walking loop animation and stop walking animation for the cutscene I plan to make for the Kosok one introduction, and I imported a ideal hello animation like greeting animation from Mmixamo, and used I blended using I blended it in motion builder for the from ideal to greeting, then greeting to ideal for the seamless animation in the Unity. Then I exported it with process the and then I process the tracks and subtracts to FBX for the Unity import. I followed the tutorial and did the same procedures for the other characters as well, like Jack. As you can see, the float contact is there and it's working properly. I imported one idle animation and one sitting animation and one and the T post like mentioned and the typing animation from Mmixamo, and I renamed for organizing. I used the character control reference for the Jack character 2, and then I processed the animations in 30 FPS for the Unity with the FPS frame count. In the Unity scene, I have a subway station on the bottom floor and the container cafe in the top floor, which is provided in the coursework specification. I used a neon lighting style to change the textures, and I have used a aluminum ceiling on the as a ceiling. I have imported I have used this metro train asset from the SAP, a realistic one, and I used this subway. I fixed the materials in the subway station which had conflict with the Unity 6, Unity 2022 versions shader compiler, and for the characters for the in the hierarchy I have Visual Scripts. In the Visual Script, I use this Visual Script for the keyboard interactions. If the player press F1, he should be able to toggle the iPad asset, which is given in the tutorial, uh, to the state in active and inactive. If he press F2, he should be able to see the first person controller's visual control UI, which is given in the Unity Asset Store and it's required in the coursework specification. So he can move with the screen UI controller, and I created a Visual Script note to show the current time of the computer in the iPad's lock screen. So I used C# scripting to create a note for that, and I used package manager to regenerate the no add the C# assembly to the package manager and regenerate the nodes. Then I added the node to Visual Script. I have grouped the relevant nodes in the relevant as separate groups, so it can be easily managed and it can be easily read by the developer. I have created scene variables for the iPad and UI and time. For in the volumetrics, I have used free asset particle system for the end of both end of the tunnels for the realistic effect. In the I have set an train as as it's a subway station. I have set a train loop where the metro train mimics the real world scenario by moving in this train loop zone. Starts from the train starting point and it moves and accelerates towards the train post zone and this, then pauses in the postpone and decelerate and pauses in the postpone, then accelerate toward the end part and the other end of the loop zone, and it will play the announcement audio and the train audio as always, and the announcement audio as the train approach the post zone. As a characters, I have used police character and the Jack character and the weak character. I changed I changed Jack character's textures to make it look like separate different characters to from each other. I and the first person controller from Unity Assets. I have I have a cutscene manager which will play a cutscene in at the start of the game. I have used a timeline for the cutscene. I, I imported the animation for the of the weak character in the cutscene and blended it with the overdrive, and I changed the location of the character animations to make it look like he's really walking in the overdrive, and I created a animated camera for the camera animations to place the camera in different positions where when the like from the feet shot and from top angle shot and the front shot of the weak character. I had UI control manager for toggling the player controller like WSD control tutorial for the player. I imported some free assets from Sketchfap for the container cafe, like such as tables and laptop. In the canvas, I have the tutorial control canvas and play interaction canvas and dialog canvas. In the C# script, I have added clear comments for the better code management, and it can be easily read and easily modified for the use by the developer. As in the tutorial, I imported the characters in the T-pose and I rigged it by changing the animation to humanite and avatar definition to the to get it from this model. And I fixed the materials import. Uh, then I imported the animations and I changed the animations to animation stick to humanite and I changed the avatar animation to get the avatar from the previously imported T-post avatar. Then I changed the uh, animation settings as in mentioned in the tutorials for every animations and for every characters, including the read and the Jack and policeman. I changed these animations, the animation model and the animation settings. And I created an animated controller for the with character for every characters. Initially and ideally the lead character and other characters will play ideal animation. I have created triggers to change the animations logic from any pose to like talking animation. So the trigger will trigger the any pose to talking animation by the trigger value. I'm changing a trigger value. I'm using the trigger value to change the animation animation of the character. And I have created for the Jack character I have created two animation controllers. So I as I'm as I'm implementing two different Jack characters, you character animation one for one and when you typing for one character and normal setting for other characters. And I used the given trigger and I modified the given trigger animation script to change the character animations of the Jack character by randomly changing the of trigger value of the character animator um, to setting ideal and setting animation and typing animation to may loop it infinitely, so the character will play one random animation after other random animation. And I'm making it optional for the Jack character to have and not have the talk sitting and sitting and typing animation. So it's not a must. Then I have a interaction manager interaction dialog system script for the cut interaction dialog scene with the lead character and the police officer. I'm 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 looping it identically to the given dialog. I can input in the editor screen. The lead character reach the uh, given collision trigger box of the police officer. UI for interaction will be made visible, and with it changing the camera position into keeping the camera position as it is and changing the dialogue giver's name and the value one after other for the character read and detective read and the police officer. And I have the next button and end convo button at the end. I have built a course account for the demonstration, and this is my course account. As you can see, if we start the game, there will be a cutscene where the detective it walks in the environment with three different shots, and when the game starts, there will be a UI for the UI controls, for the keyboard controls, and for this demonstration, I reduced the volume for the of the game. When we approach the police officer, there will be a prompt for interaction. If you press I, the dialogue scene will happen and will run, and there will be dialogues and the next button for and convo button, and there will be a metro train which mimics the real world train scenario like I mentioned earlier, and I added collisions for the train so they can work inside them, and the textures have been fixed with for the Unity's shader pipeline. And if we go upstairs for the container cafe, and it's the train scenario I mentioned earlier. Uh, if we go out upstairs for the container cafe, I've implemented the container cafe with change in texture for neon kind of texture, and there will be two NPCs with both of them are Alex, and one will have a typing animation and sitting idle animation, and other Alex will have a typing animation and no, other NPC will have a sitting animation and idle animation. If we press F1, we can see the iPad will be get activated, and we can see the iPad with the current time of the computer, And if you press F2, there will be J controls, which is given with a play first person controller in the Unity asset system, and it's working. It's working correctly.
The next downtown local 6 train to Brooklyn Bridge City Hall will
And if you press
arrive
tab,
within
we can
2
see the
minutes.
keyboard controls for future direction. I need to enhance the dialog system with more NPCs and the interaction system and the queue system for the cafe and finish the story. Thank you.